All right, so today I want to speak briefly about a type of prayer called intercession. And really the heart behind intercession is to go between, to intervene. And really all we mean by this is to pray for somebody else or for someone else's situation. For some of us, this comes really easily, but for many of us, whatever time I happen to have allocated for prayer in this morning before work, I usually use all that time up with my needs and my situations and my problems. But now if we zoom out to the two greatest commandments, firstly, to love God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then secondly, as an overflow, to love my neighbor as I love myself. Intercession is just really learning how to love my neighbor in prayer. In other words, it starts with love. And then it's about inviting God's activity into people's lives and situations because we love God. But we also love people and we want to see more of God's life and activity and will and kingdom in people's lives. Again, because we love God and we love others. Richard Foster brings it together by saying, if we truly love people, we will desire for them far more than it is within our power to give them. And this will lead us to prayer. Intercession is a way of loving others. Intercessory prayer is selfless prayer, even self-giving prayer. In the ongoing work of the kingdom of God, nothing is more important than intercessory prayer. Now, where this really does become an act of sacrificial love, you see, if my family is struggling financially, you see, I'm the one feeling the pinch. And of course, I've got these very real budgets and challenges reminding me every single day and keeping me on my knees. But when it comes to someone else's pain or someone else's challenge, I may be less motivated to pray for them simply because I've got my own problems, but I'm not experiencing life the way they are. And this is why intercession is an act of love, because firstly, it invites me and my heart into their circumstances, to imagine what they're going through and what they're experiencing. And as I do that, I begin to have a shared empathy and a compassion. And then when I pray, that is when I really begin to see how God's activity is needed in the situation, and I pray that. And I think that's part of the point, right? Not that I look after my needs and I pray for those things, but then God must be involved in other people's situations as I pray for them. But as I pray from a place of love and compassion, suddenly my heart is invested in them. And when I'm praying for God's kingdom to come in their lives, God starts showing me how I can support, what my role looks like, how I can be part of the answer to that very same prayer, which really is how God works. Of course, there may be many other ways that God answers that prayer, but this is the beauty of interceding in prayer for someone else. And it starts with loving God and in turn loving others deeply and compassionately in prayer.